This is Pop Culture Yearbook. On this show, we pick pieces of pop culture that were important to us in a given year. We then discuss our memories and dig into those movies, albums, shows, and more. I'm Brad.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Giff.
And who else is here?
And I'm Dave.
And Dave is here. So we put out 2 episodes last week, 2 in 1. It was a big week. Hope you liked it. But
I'm worn
that's
out.
because our best friend Dave is so important, and he requested that we do a certain movie in 1980, and we're always going to say yes. So we're here tonight to do his movie, which, by the way, none of us have seen except him until now. So, Dave, what are we talking about tonight for the people who didn't read the description before they clicked on it?
Yeah, right. All right. Well, yeah. So when I saw 1980, one of my favorite movies growing up when I was a kid was Flash Gordon, and so I'd asked if yes, Flash,
Savior of the universe.
and I just thought, it'd be fun to do it. Now it's funny, Brad, because you said you guys will always say yes. Now, after putting you guys through this movie, after a while back putting you guys through Big Trouble in Little China, are you really always going to say yes?
I will.
All
I'm
going
going
to
to say
that
is those are 2 movies that I've heard so much about, and I was never going to watch otherwise, and now I've seen them, and I'm happy to say I've seen them.
Right. And so I'm going to get into a little bit of why I picked this, and I will have some comparisons back to Big Trouble in Little China. The big thing I'll say that's different for me with those 2 movies is, when you watch things that you loved when you were a kid, you always kind of hope that they aged well and they hold up and whatever. This fits into a whole different category of why I enjoy it versus Big Trouble. Big Trouble, we talked a little bit about the fact that, I'm a kid who was like buying into all of Jack Burton's bravado as a kid, but then now as I watch it as an adult, I love the movie because I think it's funny that they, used him as like, quote unquote hero, but really he was kind of a buffoon and all that. This movie is different in that it is a crazy movie. Visually, story-wise, and everything else, with a way too sincere straight man as the center character. And so we'll get into a little bit of that, but so I watch it a little differently in that I think my eyes tend to roll a little more watching this. And my eyes never roll when I watch Big Trouble in Little China, by the way. So back when, little Dave, 5-year-old Dave, was running around, one of the things I loved about this movie, it combined 2 things that I was starting to love as a kid: Star Wars and football.
Football.
Yeah, Star Wars and football. So, because Flash is the quarterback of the New York Jets. I think what I love about it now didn't hit me quite. I mean, it couldn't have hit me in the same way it does now, in that I think now when I watch it, I go, I think what probably made me love this so much was it's a horny Star Wars. It's kind of, like it's just got a completely different vibe than when you watch Star Wars. It's
horny.
Yeah, and it's so we'll talk a little bit about that when we talk about the details of the movie. But as a kid, I know, so I don't think I saw this in the theaters. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I was pretty young. I know that this was like a staple movie that I saw a lot on HBO. And for me, the big 2 things there were, I remember just thinking the visual look of this movie was so impressive. Now, well, and that's the thing. Now,
back then, 1980.
Now when I looked at it, but even the stuff that I think probably I thought looked really cool, I have a different opinion of now. Even like trying to, consider the time that it was made. But the other one is just and I didn't know who it was, but I loved the movie or the music in the movie from the get-go, and just thought that the music was awesome. Back then, I wouldn't have had an idea of who Queen was for a little while.
Yep.
I do remember being at a bowling alley, and I know I had seen this movie at that point, and Another One Bites the Dust came on while we were bowling, and I remembered telling my parents how much I liked this song, and they're like, well, that's the band that, does the music in Flash Gordon, and I was blown away by that. you know, but I would have been a little kid at that point. So yeah, so a couple of things before I get into the details of how the movie was made. I do think that this is very 80s in the sense that Flash is, so I think they're really trying to lean into the blondness of Flash, that he's this virtual, you know, strong blonde guy, and he is just very bland in the movie. Like if you really sit back and think about it, you go, what exactly makes this guy a hero? And that's where when I think about him versus like a Jack Burton, I just go, it's funny, aside from, you know, the blonde, good looks, whatever, he doesn't have a lot of charisma. So, yeah. And then, so the last thing I'll just say is that with as I watch it now, it really hits me some of the visuals. And as a kid, I thought this was like a huge sprawling movie. You know, when they would go to these worlds, they were populated by tons of people or whatever. And it really strikes me now how small it was. But I think, and the equivalent I would make is, so I played with a lot of, like, I had little Star Wars action figures, and He-Man guys were like my two favorite things when I was growing up. And, you know, my Mandy and I, we had a handful of each. So we didn't have, you know, a ton from either one, but you would stage like these in your mind, these epic battles at home with all these characters and everything. And to me, this movie as a kid, I think did that to my mind, where I'm seeing like 5x what's actually on the screen. And and so it is. It's just that it really captured me that way. Couple of stats about the movie. So it is reviewed well. It's 83% on the tomato meter.
Yeah, I looked at that. A 69 by audiences, so actually critics higher. Nice. Interesting.
Yep.
And nice.
Yep, that audience really nailed it on that one. I was the deciding vote there.
You kept voting and vote. It was that like 61%, and you put like 1 million votes in.
We got to bring this thing up, man. It did make 27 million, 3.9 in its opening weekend. It was number one, and at least from what I could tell, it looked like it knocked Raging Bull off of number one from the previous week.
While you're on money there, I was shocked to see that it was a $20 million budget. That seems like a really high budget for 1980.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look, you know, like I said, I made fun of the effects already. Like, it doesn't look like Star Wars, most of it.
Well, no. Yeah, sure, it doesn't look like Star Wars.
So where was all that money?
It went to Queen.
In my mind,
I guess.
In my mind, I think I did think it did. But yeah, now you watch it now and you just go, yeah, I'm not sure where all that money.
It's bright in color. As a kid,
a lot of bright colors. Yeah, I could see that.
You can pay extra for bright colors.
It had to do with those, like the skies and everything, and which I did listen to something yesterday that talked about how they do that technique of getting the skies to look that way, which is they fill up aquariums with like coloring and everything else, and then they put really bright light lamps behind it, and that's how it's almost like a green screen, but that's how they pick up those kind of moving backgrounds and everything else. But
just for a comparison, I looked up Caddyshack because we're going to talk about that in 2 weeks, and it was a big movie and everything. Had a bunch of big stars in it. Right. That was a $6 million budget. Damn. So this is more than three times what Caddyshack was.
Well, and I didn't read, so I read up on a couple of different things around this, but I didn't read anything that would talk about why the budget went so high. But there is something I could kind of speculate on. And there is actually a documentary out there that came out in, I think it was 2018. Well, I'll get to that in a second here. So the producer on this movie was Dino De Laurentiis, who was a big producer, and he had been wanting to make a Flash Gordon movie for quite a while. He had actually been pitching this around in the 60s. So one of the things that's kind of, I don't know if you guys read anything on this, but one of the things that's really interesting is the one of the directors he offered it to, that ultimately turned it down to go do something else.
George Lucas.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
Wow.
So really, Star Wars exists because he turned down doing this movie, which is, to me, is kind of crazy.
I think he made the right choice. I'm just saying.
I would say so too. Although, I think you could draw some parallels between Sam Jones's acting as Flash and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
The
And Mark
original
Hamill's no
Luke
prize.
Skywalker is pretty petulant.
Yeah,
Right.
the
And
acting in
Flash
all of
wasn't
Star
trying
Wars
to
is really
bang
not
his-
all that great.
Yeah, and
But-
Skywalker, Flash wasn't trying to bang his sister, so that's
Right.
one thing there
That's
too.
true. That's true. Point,
So-
Flash Gordon.
So, last couple things here. Okay, so the documentary, it's called Life After Flash, and one of the things that really hits home, or that I guess is a focus of that documentary, and this is where I wonder how much this goes into the budget. So Sam Jones, who played Flash Gordon, left this movie, and so I listened to a couple things, read a couple things, and I found out, and I'd never known this, that the majority of his dialogue was actually dubbed in later by a actor named Peter Marinker, I think is how you would say his name. But I'd never heard that. And so last night when I was watching it again, I was trying to listen for it. And Flash, sometimes you can hear sometimes where, voices are going, and it's almost like you can hear a little bit of like an audio cut where the line is like getting delivered in after the fact.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like it's noticeable. Like, I'm only speculating that because I was looking out for it. But yeah, I found that to be really interesting. Sam Jones really didn't work after this. Or I'll take that back.
Oh,
He
he
never
worked a
really
lot.
worked in anything big after this. He actually has a ton of credits, and in fact, he has 84 credits on IMDb, but they're all kind of the Silk Stockings variety.
Yeah, they're the poor man's, like he did a poor man's kind of Commando movie. He did a poor man's, Dirty Dozen. He did a poor man, like it's always the B
And you could
side.
say this is a
of
poor
everything.
man Star Wars.
He's
Sure.
going
Yeah.
direct to video in a lot of his career,
Mhm.
right? And I think part of that is when you clash with a very powerful producer, I can't imagine that helps your career. So I do wonder, what was it that made him upset? What were the things, did his behavior cause for extension? So when you talk about a big budget like that, maybe it was just because they weren't doing things efficiently, and that kind of speaks to that. But this is a pretty big cult film, and the two directors that I saw that called this out publicly, and then they had different movies that they said this inspired. One was Edgar Wright, and he said that some of his visuals in Scott Pilgrim were kind of based on this, and which I thought was kind of cool. And then the other one is Taika Waititi, and he talked a little bit about Thor Ragnarok and how there's some elements of Flash in that. So I thought that was kind of neat. Before I turn it over, because I do want to hear what you guys thought of this movie, I do want to just call out a couple of things real quick in the cast. So I did think it was interesting. Dale Arden, who is played by Melody Anderson. So there again, she had worked quite a bit before the movie. She has 77 credits on IMDb, but she stopped working in 1995. So it's kind of one of those. I think that's kind of indicative of Hollywood at the time. I think she basically hit 40 and was never offered another job. Which I thought was interesting. So, the big name in the movie is Max von Sydow as Ming. He died in 2020. A couple other guys here died. So Topol, who plays Hans Zarkov, he died this year at 87. The big thing with him, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, he was the Three-Eyed Raven in Game of Thrones. Max von Sydow was the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yep.
Topol was in Fiddler on the Roof. And then Princess Aura. Now I want to get to this one here. Princess Aura is Ornelli Matti,
Mhm.
but she has 115 credits, mostly in Italy. But I was kind of wondering, do you guys feel like she could have some sort of blood relationship to Tommy Wiseau?
I don't understand.
I suppose.
Did you not feel like her delivery and acting style was Wiseauian?
It was,
No.
now that you mention it, it was, yeah,
Everybody in the movie's like that. I didn't notice anything about her.
I can
Right.
see it. Yeah.
I will
I
say, if
noticed
you
a
look
few
at her
things about her.
credits, you will find that in those movies, 120 some movies, she's done a whole lot of stuff with her clothes off. So,
Yes,
you
yes.
know.
If you're into that
Haven't-
sort of thing.
haven't we
Well,
all-
you know, because you're watching this and she's playing that kind of a role,
Yep.
and then you look
That's
her
true.
up, and that's
The
what you
vixen.
find.
That was
makes
kind of her
sense.
thing. Yeah, that was kind of her thing. All right, last two. So Prince Baron, obviously Timothy Dalton. So we have a Bond in this movie.
Yes.
And then Prince Voltan was played by a guy named Brian Blessed, and he's got a ton of other credits. A lot of them are actually just voice credits, so he's a voice on a lot of things, which I have to say he is my favorite part of this movie. But it's interesting, there is a Star Wars tie-in here. He provided the moment in Star Wars that made me that really made me question my fanhood for the first time. He was in the Phantom Menace when they go down into the Gungan world with Jar Jar Binks. He's the Boss Nass.
He's
So do you
the
remember they're
king.
talking to this Gungan
Oh, yeah.
guy who's
He's
like he keeps
gonna-
going like "Brrr," like that?
We should.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know
that's
the lines,
that
but-
is Voltan, Prince
Since
Voltan.
you brought up that he's done a lot of voice work, I had this note down way later, but he sounds to me two things. At first, he reminded me of a Sean Connery like caricature. But if you've watched What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show,
Yes.
he sounds exactly like Laszlo, which I love that show and I love that guy. And
well, and I
that's
know
who he
that
sounds.
that's based on so is
And that's
Taika
Taika
Waititi.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
Taika Waititi is involved with that show, right?
He created
He's-
he created the movie, which led
Right.
to the show.
Yeah, yeah.
The show. Have you not watched that show, Dave?
I don't watch the show. I've seen the movie.
Oh my God, the show,
No.
in my opinion, is 100 times. I didn't like the movie all that much. The show is just
I didn't make it through the
incredibly
movie.
good.
I started watching. I'm like, this is. So I haven't gone to the show because
It's
I
better.
turned the movie off.
I
The
like
actors
the
in the
movie.
show are. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I like the movie a lot. I just, it's hard to get into new shows. There's just so many of them.
Gotta
Well,
watch them
Dave,
shows.
Dave, is
Gotta
that,
watch
is
them
that,
shows.
does
Dave,
that
if you're-
complete your list of actors there, Dave?
I was going to say I got
Because
one.
there's one that you missed out on the biggest actor, literally the biggest name in the entire movie. And he was also in another terrible movie that you made us watch
Oh, boy.
for this podcast.
Okay, give it to me.
Yeah, and Gifford knows who I'm talking about. The man played Hagrid in Harry Potter. He was actually in two other movies. that
Oh,
we-
so he's in
you know,
European Vacation.
Robbie Coltrane.
Where-
What
where-
was
This
he?
movie?
yeah,
he
what's
had,
Robbie
like-
Coltrane in this?
He had a bit role. When I was just like scanning through the cast of this movie, and he like had some minor role.
Was he
Okay.
the guy who closes the airplane door at the beginning?
It might
When they,
be.
I swear to God, when I was watching this, and the guy they get on the plane in the beginning of the movie, the woman and Flash,
Dale and Flash.
Dale and
Woman
Flash,
and Flash.
and there's a guy who that's on the ground crew, and he closes the door of the airplane. I swear to God, that was that guy.
I think you're right. Now that
Well,
I will
I've-
say Robbie
didn't pick-
Coltrane that's a good pull, Pete, but I'm not sure he's a bigger name than two-time Oscar nominee Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow.
Well, and you
well,
are
I would say I bet more people
To you,
know,
yeah, and
more people know who Robbie Coltrane is, or at
Well,
least
actually,
his
you might be
character,
right.
As
I got another one for you here. When you talked about Star Wars tie-in,
Yes.
Munson is Red Six
I
in
heard
Star
this,
Wars
yes.
Episode 4. But even more importantly, another movie we covered on this podcast, 1989's Batman. He's Eckhart in Batman.
Oh,
really?
So he's
Think
the
about the future.
he's the assistant to what's this Zarkov in the beginning of the movie while they're in the lab.
He's
And
his little
Jeffrey.
he's his little side henchman.
Borgov.
Yeah.
So
So-
and then I will just say one last thing. So on IMDb, because I was fascinated by Princess Aura, given I wanted to see if she did have a relationship to Tommy Wiseau, but on IMDb, he has 3 trademarks listed, and I'm just going to ask you guys, who does this sound like? Natural brunette hair, cat-like blue eyes,
Dave,
and a seductive deep voice.
it's you, Dave.
It's me. Yeah.
And Tommy
It's
Wiseau.
you all the way. Yep.
So
And looks like an action figure that was melted in the microwave for 5 seconds.
all right, let's okay, so I do want to, before I get into like I'll kind of talk through little things in the movie and we can talk through that, but just right off the bat, let's go with initial impressions then, given that this was your first time seeing it.
I'll go first. I actually do remember watching, I think there was a cartoon when I was a kid that was on. I don't know if it was Saturday mornings or like in the afternoon, but I do remember the characters and I remember Ming the Merciless and all that stuff, but it was the cartoon, not the movie that I had ever seen. This movie was a 2-hour-long acid trip, in my opinion. I've never had an acid trip before, but this must be what it would be like. It was just, it didn't feel, it felt like the acting was hilarious. I would actually love to see this on Mystery Science Theater 3000 because it's exactly the kind of movie that they would do. And that's what I kept thinking about, like all this goofy shit that they could sit and make jokes about the whole time. Or, just watching with you guys. It would be just as good, like actually sitting down and watching it together, because it would be a riot. But
Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I did, I think,
It
watched
was-
it as Mystery 3000 because my first few notes here kind of play into some of that stuff.
now, I don't know. I think actually some of it is deliberately campy because it was even
What-
when
100%.
on Netflix, part of the description is like, action, science fiction, and campy was one of the things on Netflix. And so
Well, of course.
I
because
knew
it
what I
is
was getting
campy.
into. It is.
Right.
Just because you are campy doesn't mean you tried to be campy.
Right.
Well, but,
right.
but
And
there
it's
are
just so-
things
well,
in there
they
where
were
I do
trying
think
with
they were trying. They were trying to go for a certain tone, and it wasn't always because Flash is so sincere. It wasn't always even in how they did it. There are scenes that don't fit with each other, but the fact that you have like when they're erasing Zarkov's mind, and all the stuff comes up through Hitler, and Clytus goes, now he showed potential, or whatever. Like that's campy. Or
Mhm.
when Ming is getting married and it says everyone make merry, but punishable by death. Like those kind of things.
Right.
Well,
They're trying
and
to be goofy.
don't forget the whole football scene.
Oh,
They had to work it in.
let's
I'm
go
sure you'll
back.
get to it, but-
Let's get back to that when we talk through the thing, because
Yes.
that's a big moment for me in the movie. But
Anyway.
So I've never seen this. I've only heard of it not even through you much, Dave, until recently. But I worked with a guy named Bob for 20 years, and he brought this movie up all the time. And then when I went and saw Ted, it came up as this huge reference, and Sam Jones is in it. I'm like, how do I not like know about this movie? It seems like it's something that you would at least be more aware of, like I would have seen things.
yeah,
So I was excited to watch it, like I said, just to figure out what's going on here. And I went in thinking that it's got to be like you had to be there to enjoy it kind of thing, like when you were a kid, or you had to, grow up with it. It's funny you brought up the Saturday morning cartoon, Pete. At the end of the movie, I wrote down, this felt like a Saturday morning movie. Like a made-for-TV movie that would be on Saturday morning for kids to watch. Not something you go into theater with a big budget and watch. I also brought up the Rotten Tomatoes and the 83% positive critic score. And if you read like the synopsis, it says, it's a knowing, like poking fun at itself. And I'm watching it like, I don't know if that's true. I mean, when they made the movie, I really don't know. Maybe parts of it are, and it's kind of like Tommy Wiseau backtracking and calling his movie a black comedy. I'm not.
So I think
sure.
I think there's two things there, right? So there's those couple of moments I brought up, but then another thing that would make it campy is, and I'll just get, there's some bad acting that kind of fits more in what
Yeah.
you're describing there, Brad.
Very
And an example right at the beginning is when Zarkov goes into he's tricked them into the rocket. And of course, Dale already know. I think that's Hans Zark. How would she know who that is or whatever? But then he comes in and he's like, well, you're lighter, so I'll keep you in the rocket. And Flash, he's trying, he's like, you can leave. And Flash is like trying to be coy as he's walking in. He's like, so then I'll see you later then, okay? And the way he does it is so...
I think it's just bad acting. That's all.
And
It is bad acting.
So when you're talking about, like, there, I think he's trying to be sincerely sneaky, and it just comes off as funny.
Right.
But there are other moments that I do think are intentionally campy that work.
So it's anyway, to sum up, even though I said all that, I enjoyed watching it. Like I had a good time overall. Glad I saw it. I'm not sure I'm ever going to watch it again, but it entertained me, and it was pretty much what I expected. Here's the one thing though that I don't want to forget either. I mean, I just always assumed this is a superhero, Flash Gordon. I always thought this was a superhero movie, and I'm watching this movie like, okay, I do know he's a quarterback and everything,
Yeah.
but like at some point, he's gonna like get hit by something, or he's gonna gain a superpower that's gonna be part of this movie.
Nope.
Yeah.
But there's
no.
there's nothing, and the name's
He's just
Flash.
a guy. He's a
The name
quarterback,
Flash
and that's
just
his
happens to be like his nickname or whatever,
his
being a
football
player.
nickname.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, I guess this isn't a superhero movie, so what the fuck?
I thought so too, and I never knew that he was a football player at all. And even watching the cartoon, I don't know. I don't
think I knew
remember
it
that
was
being a part of it. Or,
I think it came up in Ted. Like, I think that's where I learned a little bit about it, maybe.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, I didn't know until he mentioned
Anyway.
that line.
I think his superpower is just being too stupid not to know to try stuff. Like
Well, and
he jumps on the bike thing. Like, how does he know how to ride this thing and operate
I
it?
would
He
call
just tries it.
I would
just
call his
give it a shot.
superpower annoying sincerity.
so Pete hinted at the football scene, and I wrote down, oh, a football is his superpower. Like, I wrote as a serious comment, like, you give him a football, and he's going to be able to, like, kill things. And
He's
but
going to
no, he
throw
just
it 100
threw
yards.
really hard for a while, and then that was that.
And then
So-
he ran through some people and
Which a
everything.
quarterback's not going to do, even in the 80s. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's not a move that he's got in his
Oh my
bag.
God.
They could have easily. Why did they get Joe Namath to play this role? Because it would have been perfect.
I think
He's
he's supposed to be
flashy.
kind of a Joe Namath.
He could
Well,
have.
we could have had Susie
acted it.
Colbert play Dale Arden.
There you go.
Quarterback.
Susan Colbert. Okay, Giff. What about you?
Yes, Gifford.
So you talk about how you're not sure that this movie knows it's campy. So
I'm
you
not.
referred to Roadhouse as a movie that took itself way too seriously. I don't think this movie takes itself seriously, and that I enjoyed watching it because of that, because it was just so bananas.
There
and
was
there's
no
just-
scene of him doing Tai Chi or
No.
something in the distance to a heavy soundtrack. So.
Right. So I mean, this movie I don't think takes itself seriously. Dave talked about, there's different lines that I think are intentionally campy. One is, I thought later on in the movie when Dale was talking about how, she's gotta basically have sex with Ming, and he just goes, fake him out. Girls do it to me all the time. And
Yes.
it's like, I mean, come on. Like,
I love the
can't-
way he
that's
says it.
serious.
Come on, Dale. You can do it. Girls know how to do that kind of stuff.
Right. Like,
Maybe
I
the
mean,
problem
That's
is
what he's thinking to her.
as you said,
Right.
he's so wooden. If he was a better actor, a more engaging actor that you could tell was trying to be, I think it would really come off better.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he's just like, what? Who is this guy?
It's like that scene in Wayne's World too. It's like, excuse me, could we get a better actor for this? And then they bring in Charlton Heston to redo the entire scene. And it's
So
totally different.
One of my first impressions is I figured, okay, Dave's making us watch this movie. He loves this movie. The bad guy is Ming. I didn't know if there was a tie-in to one of your children's names because of your love of this movie.
Oh,
That
I
is
thought of
not actually.
Okay.
So Ming is actually Sonya's middle name.
Okay. So I didn't know if you went full, fanboy on this.
But you knew all along that it fit.
No, I don't feel that strongly about this one. I don't feel that strongly.
You were pumping your fist behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Call her Ming. Yeah, that's great. Okay. But I did right off the bat, you got Queen with the title song. That lends credibility to it right there.
The very opening is terrible, but I wrote down this Queen song. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Especially when they get to the guitar solo. It was great.
But I'm gonna get into the first thing I wrote about the movie here. So, Ming's talking to, I don't remember which one of his henchmen, and they're talking about Colitis. Yes. And I thought it was funny because he tells them, hey, this planet is called Earth, so he's gonna start fucking with Earth, and
Real
there's
quick,
a button.
though.
Oh, go ahead.
What's great about Clytus is his voice, and it's so we talked about Taylor Hawkins sounding dirty on Sunday Rain.
Yeah.
Clytus saying Earth. It's a little known planet called yeah, that's a dirty pronunciation, like disgusting in his voice.
So Ming just finds out the name of the planet, but he's already got a button that's labeled Earthquake.
It's kind of like the Joker having all that merchandise the day after he becomes the Joker.
Exactly.
Well, so Gifford, then you must have been really excited then. So it goes from that into Queen, which, and I think that song is awesome.
Yeah.
So the whole opening credits is great. And then a minute later, you see Flash introduce himself to Dale, and he goes, "I'm Flash." And she's like, "I know." Well, why do we know that?
Right. He's got a
He's
shirt
wearing
on.
a shirt that says Flash through the
Yeah, like a kid in an 80s
Merchandising.
movie.
Right. He's merchandising himself. Well, the other thing I thought was strange was
Again.
the van pulls up. He's watching the van. She gets out and he lowers his window.
Yeah.
And then gets out of his car and gets on the plane. Like, why would you leave your window down in your car?
Yeah, I don't know. And he gets out really fast too. Like he
He's
thinks
the
maybe the
Flash.
plane will take off without him. It is all weird.
It's just strange. There were so many little things in this that I just thought were just so great right off the bat, and like Zarkov pulling a gun on Munson to
he pulls a gun on him to get him in there, and he says, "Get your toothbrush and whatever."
right.
So this is how he's forcing him into the rocket. Get your toothbrush and whatever.
Before we get to Munson and Zarkov, though, the one last thing in the plane before it gets over to them, I did think it was funny, and Brad, this kind of could have fit into your discussion on that other podcast, but Flash starts mansplaining weather to Dale.
Mhm.
But then as he's mansplaining weather, then she points out and there's like red clouds coming. So then we fly to Zarkov and Munson.
Mhm.
So I did think it was funny. So I did think it was funny when the hot hail comes in, it's like golf ball sized or whatever. But then Zarkov's like, "Where did this come from?" And and he needs to get the coordinates because now they know how to zero in and go. And he basically is referencing that they're going to take this giant rocket that's in their little area. And Munson's like, "You think I'm getting into that?" What did he think they were doing there?
Right. What I loved is when the hot hail came down.
Yeah.
And Zarkov goes over to this ember on the floor and like tips it over with his pen or whatever. He goes, "That's from the moon." Piece of the moon. Like just flipping it over. And
Well, he
it's
had
He's
predicted
a
all
moon
this
rock.
ahead of time, though. That's the thing. He's the crazy guy, but he knew everything.
It's no mistake. It's an attack.
He's actually, he's not crazy. He knows what's going to happen.
But I just thought that was funny how quickly he identifies a piece of burning moon rock.
So then I do think it's funny, they do so Zarkov tricks them into the rocket.
That's where the phone
Flashes.
is.
Well, I guess I'll be running along now. And then flies at him in Flash fashion. But then they all take off together. And when the rocket's in the air, and again, so let's get into I do want a quick opinion on the soundtrack. So I love this song that's playing when the rocket's flying. So it's
I don't remember.
It's way hornier.
It's way hornier. Okay.
Well, okay. So I had the note down.
Some horny
As
music.
a kid, this is the first moment that was very confusing to me because Dale and Flash are basically passed out side to side.
Mhm.
Dale is sweating and dribbling her mouth or something, and they're like, it's really strange. But the whole time it's playing, it's this like. I'm trying to think of how best to describe this. There's like little drumming in the background and
Mhm.
everything, but then it's just one of the scores that comes up a lot. It's also played in the background in the scene where Flash wants to see Dale before he's going to get put to death.
Yep.
And they're in that little dungeon area or whatever, and they're talking about how they both thought it was a dream and
Right.
everything. But it's that same theme that plays at that point.
Well,
So,
it is titled The Love Theme.
yes.
So, I mean, that kind of makes sense. The one thing I didn't
So-
quite understand about the rocket and how it was constructed was you needed two people to fly it because you have to have one person on one side of the console with their feet on the pedal and another
Right.
person on the other side of the console, maybe like with a joystick or whatever. It's like, why not just put both of those things on the same side of the console?
You would think that you could maybe do that, especially since you hadn't discussed with Munson yet whether or not he was on board.
He was ready to go. Yeah.
If they hadn't crashed into Munson, I don't know what their plan would have been.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the other next note I had is, of course, they fly through space and they get into this wormhole, which takes them to this planet. And I love when they crash land, Flash just whips the door open. Like,
Yeah, it's like must
I
be
mean,
perfect
well, what do we
oxygen
all
and
know about
everything with that.
space?
That's
Right?
what I thought.
Lots of oxygen.
right, exactly.
Huh,
He just whips the
it's
door
like an
open
Earth
like,
hat.
hey, all right,
Temperature is
awesome.
fine. It's comfortable. It's right in that Goldilocks zone, is what they call it.
Well, this is where the annoying sincerity as a superpower works, because he has the arrogance to just bash open the door, walk out into space, but then also to walk up to multiple armed guards and, hi, we're from Earth, friends.
Friend.
Like, again, not, how do you know that they? I mean, it is quite the coincidence that the planet Mungo speaks English, which
Of
is
course, yeah.
Sure, every single outer space movie is that way, though.
And it's just easier. Come on, let's be honest. That didn't bother me. The fact that they speak English
but it's
doesn't bother me. It's that he just
when
flings
you're
the
doing
door
the
in space.
space thing. It is funny just how just
Do-do-do. I'm gonna get out now.
I'm Flash, nothing will go wrong, kind of thing.
All these people are my friends.
We're from Earth, friends. Anyway, all right. So then you get into Ming's palace. Everyone's giving tribute. You find out what a sadistic guy Ming is by, he's asking a guy to fall on his sword. Anybody think anything was pretty gnarly about that when he kills him?
The blue blood.
Yeah, the blue blood I thought was kind of weird. That guy wasn't very good at freezing for
No, he
being
was
frozen
not.
by Ming. But this is where I want to go. So he kills him. Flash goes, "This Ming's a psycho." And that little ball bitches out on him. This
Mhm.
Ming's a psycho. And they're, so they get them to come up, and he introduces himself as Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets. Dale Arden, travel agent. Good to know.
This is okay. We're talking about the camp. This is a line here where I maybe can kind of see it when Ming puts her in this trance, and she almost is like orgasmic, and she comes out of it and says, "What happened to me?" And he goes, or not Ming, but it's Flash goes, "I don't know, but it was pretty sensational."
It was pretty sensational. Well, okay, and even right before that, because I had both of these written down. So she does. First of all, she does that dance, which again, a 5-year-old kid watching this, it's like, what is going on here? It looks like an early weird TikTok challenge or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing there. I don't find it crazy or
It's not
whatever.
sensational.
Yeah, I don't find it sensational.
No.
But when she's done, fucking Clytus, his comment to Ming is, "She even rivals your daughter."
Yeah, what was that about?
Jesus,
That was
don't ruin my buzz, man. I don't want to hear that.
and like
That's
Brad
the
said,
horniness.
it was an orgasmic scene that she was
Mhm.
having, and then that's his line.
Oh my God.
Not
Oh.
one Clytus is a
Daddy
weak-
says I'm the best at it.
Things things I would not have said to Ming the Merciless.
No.
She even rivals your daughter. But yeah, that sensational line is a good one.
It
And then,
is.
so then we do get to the football scene, and I have to say, I know the first time I ever watched this is what got me pumped up.
Sure.
And I still, and so the Flash Gordon soundtrack is really cool. This song, the football theme, is on my running list. I listen to this all the time. It has
That's a
all
good
the
one.
dialogue from the movie. So
Wow.
you do have like Ming going like, are your men on the right pills? Maybe you should execute their trainer, and all that. And then you have Flash, and this is where, so you guys were talking about his superpower. Like Brad, you thought like he was going to be able to like throw those eggs through people or something.
Throw that football over those mountains.
Yeah, he really,
It
he really
becomes a
kinda
superpower.
is like a Uncle Rico with this whole thing. Kind of, great potential, not much in the execution. I love when he lays down on the ground and rolls through them, knocks them all down. But then, as this is going on, so the fact that he stops at one point and starts yelling out numbers like he's calling a play, that is something. It's like a trope in like certain shows and stuff that I cannot stand. And I've got 2 other times where I know this has come up in pop culture. We've just been rewatching Ted Lasso, and I love everything about Ted Lasso, but there is a scene late in season 1 where they do the Lasso special,
Yep.
and it's just the dumbest, it's the dumbest play. They're basically running a football play. It makes
Right,
no
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But then there's also, if any of you guys ever watch Glee, they're
Mhm.
I think Hollywood writers don't understand football very well. So in Glee, I can't remember Kurt's character is the kicker, but he's not much of a football player, and he teaches them how to play football well by teaching them how to dance to Single Ladies by Beyonce. And they
Really?
yeah, and
Okay.
their dancing to Single Ladies distracts the other team that allows them to like execute a play. And I just
Oh my God.
anytime I see that in pop culture, I just go, oh, can we not do this? Like, we don't need a made up football play.
Well,
But,
you can't discount Dale's cheerleading during
So-
this as well.
So that is all improvised. Shocker, she was given nothing to do in this scene. And so they just told her, figure something out. Go, Flash, go. Go, Flash, go. What is that clapping?
It's just all bad. It's
Yeah.
all bad. It was pretty sensational.
Yes.
She even rivals your daughter.
She
Mhm.
was your daughter. All right, so then we go on. He gets executed.
Oh, I got something before that.
Yes.
Oh.
So when they are in there, when he has to see her and he's in chains before he gets executed.
They're in the dungeon, yeah.
They're in
yeah.
the dungeon, and she comes in and his mask gets taken off, and he goes to her. She's dressed as a concubine at this point, and he goes, "You look great." No, really, you look great. Yeah, Ming's gonna use her as his sex slave, for God's sakes. And he's commenting on, "Boy, you really look great. Oh wow, holy crap! Read the room, pal." Like, good.
Well, one thing I noticed about this scene is this is where they've got the hourglass, but was it deliberate that he was turning it the wrong way?
No, it
The
went up.
hourglass?
He said,
It goes
You'll-
up. Okay.
he said when the sands run up is what he said.
Okay.
So it's trying to do this is a different
It's
place.
like an anti-gravitational hourglass, even
Sure.
though gravity works just fine everywhere else. The hourglass is anti-gravitational.
Yeah.
It goes
Yes.
It went up.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. At first, I thought it was like a prop mistake or something. Like he turned it the wrong way, and
Pete,
it's
It's
already
helium
done.
sand, Pete. It's
There were
helium
pictures
sand.
of spoons back behind it too, Pete. So, yeah. But yeah, no, that's just their world building right there, Pete. Their world building.
Okay.
But yeah, then you got so he gets executed. That part of the movie, I remember, especially the first time I ever watched it as a kid, I was blown away that like he dies, right? Because as a kid, when you're watching it before you know what happens,
It doesn't last long though.
right, and it's not long.
And the movie's
and-
Flash
and-
Gordon. How do you have Flash Gordon die in the middle of the movie, right?
But see, when you're a kid, you're not thinking through that,
Right.
call it
and so
Plot armor. That's plot armor, is what they call
right, yeah, he's gonna, he's gonna keep on, and so it is because Aura basically gets the doctor to resuscitate him.
So I had a thought here. Brad spoke about how he doesn't have a superpower. I thought when he went into that chamber and the doctor comes in and he shoots this thing in his arm and he said something like, "This will make it go better for you."
Yeah,
I thought whatever he put in his arm was going to commingle with the gas.
Yeah.
And he was going to come out of this chamber like, Captain
Like a
America.
Hulk. Yeah.
Like
Oh.
that's what I thought. Oh, this is where he gets the superpowers. Nope. Let down again. No, he's
Nope.
dead now.
Well, and that's so. So when he gets resuscitated by Aura, she leans down and she kisses him, and that's another one from the soundtrack. There's like this little, it almost sounds like a little violin, but it just goes, and then all of a sudden he pops up and he's like, "My God!" So maybe he got more sincere. I don't know.
Well, an experience like that is going to make you reflect, and that's
Yes.
why.
So for me, this is where the movie picks up. Is from this point on where he's resuscitated to the end of the movie. I was like, it's way better. The second half of this movie for me was way better than the first half. I really, really
What were
honestly
you
enjoyed the
thinking
second
then
half.
during the football scene?
I was thinking this, damn it, Dave, you made me pay $4.59 for a freaking movie.
I'm still
But-
thinking that.
I don't think they know that they're not serious right now.
Right. So, I honestly, I don't know how many times I went, holy crap, I'm only 40 minutes into this thing. Oh my God, how much longer? But then after this second half of the movie, I thought it was great. It was a lot of fun with, they're bringing the people together to revolt. And
Yeah, I loved it when you get to see these people coming back and turning on him, and there were little hints earlier, but
yeah.
Well, so right after that,
but they don't work
Zarkov's
together.
mind-
They all keep twisting on each other too. So it's interesting.
It is.
Yeah. Well, and that's so everyone else in the movie are all schemers. I mean, like what Flash is bringing to the table is the idea that like you're gonna not improve your situation unless you work together.
Right.
Right. But right. So after Aura's taking him out, they walk by Zarkov. He's getting his mind erased. What did you guys think of that scene?
Pete mentioned the acid trip of this movie. That scene I just wrote was quite a trip.
Yes.
That scene was insane, and I don't even know what to say about it.
Going all the way back to, I thought it was going all the way back to the mother orgasming, but it was, that's exactly what it sounded like. But
then
it was when she was giving birth, that's what it was.
It
But it
turns out
exactly sounded like that.
it turns out that he didn't even get anything erased. He was like stopping it the whole time. We find out, so it's like the whole scene is useless.
But I have a
And,
question for you here. So they're showing all of his life kind of in reverse like in scenes.
Fast forward, yeah.
So
Pete, Mother Orgasm is a great band name.
Yep, I'm mother orgasm.
so they're emptying his mind. He goes, "Please don't do it. I've spent my entire life trying to fill it." But then there's a scene in there. Did his wife die
Yes.
when she was prank thrown into a pool at a party?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a really
sad.
that was a really big moment there that they just kind of skipped over.
Right.
That that you'd think that they would have worked that back into the story somehow that I didn't catch that they did. But
I mean, it's just like the whole montage is to give you an idea who Zarkov was. I think the big things they focused on were that he was arguing with people at NASA that they wouldn't believe him. He's had a wife that's died, you know, and then he lived through World War II as a Jewish person.
But it's this great grainy scene, like maybe from the beginning credits of the Wonder Years. And they're kind of chasing around a pool and they throw her in. And then the next thing is just laying.
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
now hold on, though.
What would you
What
do
did it
if I
go-
threw you in a pool?
Did it show her being thrown into the pool first, and then how is that going to work if it's in rewind all the way back to his birth? It should go the other way.
Yeah.
You
She
should
should
see
come
her.
out. She should die
funeral.
and come
Wait a
out.
second.
And then you like that
out of the
scientist
pool.
video by Coldplay, Pete.
Is there a plot?
Yeah,
hole in this
yeah,
movie?
exactly.
Is that
That's
the
the
one
one
plot
plot hole.
hole?
I'm
Now-
amazed I found it.
Explain something to me, okay? What exactly is the difference between level 3 and level 6 here? Because
I don't
they,
Hey.
whatever it was, level 6 sounded really bad compared to
What's-
level 3.
What's
Like,
the
holy
difference
shit.
between level 1 and level 100 on the torture machine and Princess
Princess
Bride? We
Bride,
don't know.
I don't know.
I had two comments on this part too. Pete or Dave, did you think the
Yeah.
costumes gave off kind of an eyes wide shut vibe?
Well, it's
Fidelio,
yeah, they're very. I mean, just in
a
general,
lot of
I
masks
think
in this part.
the style of the Mungo people is very. So, you know, between Clytus and then I think it's Kala is the lady.
Mhm.
I love it. Like when she's walking, she's doing like this little like weird thing with her hands and. It's like S&M stuff almost.
And then it's funny, Giff, you brought up that this is where the movie gets good. I actually noticed my note here was I felt like there was a lot of long scenes that were really drawn out and a lot of dead time here.
Okay.
Like there was a part where this kid was initiated and has to choose a passage.
Oh.
It was like this was so slow and like, come on.
Well, hold on. Let's
It's like
go
they're
back.
trying to make
I
the
do-
movie longer.
I do want to ask one last thing about the Zarkov scene.
Yeah.
So, as a kid, I found that scene really weirdly creepy in a movie that I didn't know if it was supposed to be scary or not. So, there's a movie that I used to watch a lot as a kid that had a very similar type of scene in it. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Anybody know what I'm comparing it to?
Yeah. The scene where they're going through that ride,
And
right?
the-
That weird like boat ride thing, and
Yeah.
it's like this weird LSD
There's a lot of
trip.
creepy stuff in Willy Wonka.
But that scene specifically in Willy Wonka, when that happens, it's the one I remember. Like as a kid, it gave me the feeling of like being out of control. So, kind of thing. And this scene always kind of felt that way for me too, just because it was so strange. And like I think the idea of your mind getting erased was scary, as a kid and all that. So. Yeah, I thought that was interesting when I was watching that. I also think that Kala, the Clytus's number 2, I think she sounds like Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Put them to level 6.
That would work. Well, and going back to the initiation scene, I made a note that is this how Peter Pan was made? Because it seemed like a group of Peter Pan people in the tree here.
When the camera is far away,
Peter Pan people.
and Peter Pan people.
Peterman people.
Opening for Mother Orgasm is Peter Pan people.
The hell of a bill.
Right?
When the camera is like coming in on that, as it's going up to that ceremony, you hear all those guys sitting around the little would be thing, and they're all stomping those clubs, but they're moaning in a way that sounds very
Erotic.
mother orgasmic.
Yeah.
Horny.
Mm-hmm.
Horny.
Well, and we can't skip over the flight to this planet that Flash and Ara
wrote
are
down.
having.
Every
So,
scene where there's
some all
any
the
kind of
team up.
flying in this movie is just the worst. The flying scenes are laughable.
Now hold on.
And
This is
that
where
rocket looks like a Studebaker.
he
Like
has
yeah.
the greatest line ever. in the entire movie. That's when they're able to read each other's minds from a distance,
Mhm.
and she's practically having sex with him on the plane, but he's talking to this other woman,
He's talking to
and yeah, talking to Dale, and he says, "Oh my God, this girl is really turning me on. Forget I thought that. It wasn't about you."
Right.
right.
Oh,
Oh
okay,
my God,
that makes
this
it
girl's
better.
really turning me on.
Well, and it's so wooden again too. His delivery of these lines, it's just like, "Oh, this girl's really turning me on." It's like,
That's actually
God.
one though. I will say his delivery of that one is actually pretty funny because it is so like, oh my God, this girl's really turning me on. Like it actually sounds like a person really having that feeling versus like I'm a robot.
What's happening to my special purpose?
Well, because even before that, that's where he's doing the thing gif where he's like, fake him out. Girls know how, Dale. Girls do it all the time. Like,
By the way,
that's probably the most natural dialogue he has in the entire movie.
Well, and then the whole thing with her having to drink this liquid, and it's like, is she getting roofied?
oh yeah, I don't want.
yeah, she's like, "Oh my God, that's so
knowing
good."
that this guy's got a Cosby ring already, I don't need
Yeah.
any of this green shit to
She's
drink.
very reluctant to drink it, and then all of a sudden, oh my, that's fantastic.
And what did the woman say? It's not to make you forget; it's to make you not mind what happened as much.
Not mind
Like,
remembering.
Well,
Yeah.
I forget.
Oh,
but
that
you
is
won't mind as much.
So
But
creepy.
that seems very much like the lady going in to talk to the girl Carmen about her nights with El Guapo.
He did it, but I want to go back to Flash for a second because he did a subtle wardrobe change where he had been wearing the Flash T-shirt. Now he's got this red tank top on.
Well, they had to
But-
smuggle him out.
Well,
After he was dead, they smuggled him out, so he had to dress. Because originally, when they're going out, he's dressed up like a pilot.
Well, I think it would have been better
and pilots
too in the,
wear. Oh, okay. So
I mean, after he takes the jacket off, that's what he had under.
the red tank top is part of the pilot's uniform. That's
Sure.
what you wear underneath a
I-
pilot's uniform.
I guess.
You don't know what's under those uniforms.
So I think it would have been
guess
better
I don't.
in the resurrection scene if they would have had Miracle Max come in, and he's only mostly dead.
Aha. So, yeah. Yes, for sure, for sure.
All right. Okay.
I don't even know where you're at anymore, but one of my favorite lines in the movie is my next line here. And that's where him and Baron are going to like work together, but Baron turns on him and he's got a sword out. And I don't remember what he said, but he gets the sword from him and he goes, "Tricked you, Baron."
Well, they haven't decided to work together at that point. They're enemies. So I'm going to back up just about a minute before that, Brad. So Baron's plan is he's promised Aura that he will not kill him, but we all know that if you walk into the temple of the Wood Beast, you have to go through the initiation. So they put him in that cage. They send a guy down, and when the guy goes down there, because they're pretending he's going to get put to death, and he hops in, he's got a giant black thing in his hand as he's getting put down. Like these guards are like putting him down there, and he's got it in his hand. And he gets down there and he's like, "Ha! I took a key," or whatever. And Flash is like, "Great!" I mean, it's really bad. But the plan is for that guy to make Flash think he's breaking out. They walk into the temple so that Baron can say, "Well, now you have to do the initiation."
Right.
Because then if he gets bit by the Wood Beast, he'll beg to be killed.
Right.
And Baron can say, like, he asked me to do it.
Tricked you is not quite a Schwarzenegger, John McClane quite action
Tricked
hero
you.
line.
Not
No,
like
Tricked you, Baron.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's more along the lines of Spaceballs. I believe that was actually uttered during Spaceballs. Tricked you.
Tricked you. It fooled you. Fooled
Tricked you, Baron. But yeah, the Wood Beast was something that always kind of creeped me out. And that guy, the first kid that gets bit by it, I mean, now you look at it and it's like they just put a little green paint on his arm. But there again, I was like, oh man, that's nasty.
Right.
He's got this thing
Yeah.
and then he begs to be killed. And
That was a tense scene.
yeah.
And, I
Well,
also
and then
love
when they're
how-
doing the whole thing with sticking their arm in there, and Flash is like, "Second down," and then he puts his hand down again.
So I wrote down, so Giff, this kind of goes to your space thing. What in the hell does he think they're going to think when he says second down?
Right.
It's not a reference they would know.
No.
You know?
Well, much like they wouldn't know the reference of "I'm Flash Gordon, quarterback of the New York Jets."
Yeah, you think Ming the Merciless? That's why you hated him. He's a Patriots fan.
Right.
Well, I was going to say, I bet the people in Mungo City like the Packers because they do things the right way.
I could see. Yeah, yeah.
I love that after this is an 80s movie and there's quicksand.
Okay. So as
Because
he
that
runs
was the most
away-
terrifying thing as a kid in the 80s was quicksand.
quicksand. Who knew you weren't going to have to worry about it?
Yeah. Really
So-
not that big a deal.
When he runs away and he falls in the quicksand, he pulls himself out, and then that like beast like
Mhm.
envelops all around him. Baron shoots it. What does that whole scene remind you of? Another movie that comes out a few years later.
The Princess Bride.
Yeah, it's the Fire Swamp.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
You know?
First.
Here's
And-
what I didn't get. Okay, he's sinking into the quicksand. The last thing you see is his face, and he's grimacing. So his mouth is open. If I were sinking in quicksand, I would keep my mouth like airtight shut, wouldn't
You're
you?
looking way too closely now.
It was like you could see his teeth
Right.
as he's going in. You know what I mean? Did you?
Yeah,
see
Yes,
that?
shut
looking
your
like
mouth.
Nylander. Yeah.
Well,
You're
it's
going
like
to the
that-
quicksand. Nobody
Gonna
gets
get all
their
that
mouth
shit in his
open in
mouth.
quicksand.
You don't. You don't.
Well, so what I do think is funny there, he gets that beast comes up and is killing him. Baron shoots the beast so that he can walk up and he's going to shoot him.
Shoot him. Right. Yeah.
Why
why
didn't he
not?
just let the beast kill him?
Because
Well-
then he doesn't kill him, and he can still have plausible deniability on why Flash is dead, and still get some ass from Aura.
The sound effect for this beast are the most half-assed, lazy sound effects I've ever heard. It's just that's exactly what it was. It just sounded like a human that was just growling. It's all "Ruh, ruh."
There's your 20 mil budget right there.
Yeah.
That was $20 million.
Well, so at this point,
They got
if Dale-
they got Tim Allen to do the sound effect.
I'm a wood beast.
Well, and if you want to talk about sound effects, you got to go to back to the beginning of the movie where Flash is flying the plane, and they're just going straight, but the plane sound is always, but the plane's not like veering away or anything. It's just
It's like,
constant.
we've recorded a little kid playing with a toy airplane. Meow.
Meow. Well, that goes back to the action figure thing. Well, so Zarkov and Dale had left at this point. Zarkov lets her know that he actually does have his mind because he thought of the Beatles and scientific
Beatles.
equations and stuff. But then as they're going, so they're going to reunite now with Flash and Baron because they're all getting brought to Hawk City or whatever it's called. And at this point, Zarkov starts calculating when the moon is going to crash. Does anybody know how much time at that point they have? We get a
23.
we get a
days.
pretty accurate line that tells us this.
Wasn't it 3 days and something? What was that one at that point?
Not quite. So at this point, Baron and Flash are about to fight on the little disc.
Yep.
Right? They got the whips, it's rotating. Before I get into it, anybody got any dialogue that they want to call out here?
Yeah, this is where he says, "This place is a lunatic asylum."
When
Yes.
does he? Is it before or after this where he's talking to Dale, and he says, "Save the stories for our kids."
This
It was
is
after.
Okay.
This is that
And-
moment.
And she yells, "Would you
Oh,
let
is
go?
it?
I just got engaged."
Right.
Engaged. So
Okay, I got it.
So they're fighting on the disc. They're fighting on the disc and everything. And at one point, it's not looking good for Flash. And Dale yells out, "Flash, I love you, but we only have 14 hours to save the Earth."
Yeah.
Really weird. And at this point,
was-
Flash
it
is
was pretty
literally
awkward.
getting his head, he's trying to crush his head on one of those spikes.
Right.
But I felt like that disc fight I thought was pretty awesome when I was a kid. Like when those little spikes come out and stuff, I thought that was amazing.
Did the remote control remind you of one of those small Simon Says games Remember where he had like the four lights?
Yeah,
It's
Simon.
very big. I do love that Baron or Voltan, all he does is just sit around and laugh.
Laugh.
Yeah.
He's the best.
He loves to laugh.
Yep.
And well, and earlier when they're coming, so I think it's when they bring Dale and Zarkov there because they get there first. They're talking with Voltan. There's a guy, it's not his number 2 who's through most of the movie, but it's a lighter haired guy. Anybody notice how jacked up that guy's nose was?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's
The
like
first
4
scene.
feet over to the right.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, I think I've noticed that before, but man, that really stood out.
Yep.
So, but then, yeah,
What is
so
this?
Ming, you know,
Humanity.
Ming offers him a kingdom. Oh, by the way, when Zarkov's getting his mind erased, did you guys notice that basically, you know, Zarkov screwed Earth because he was realizing through weather that something had gone wrong?
Yep.
Anybody think this was written by, you know, climate deniers?
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Well, here we go.
We are gonna get the tweets now.
Yep.
So anyway,
the X posts, Pete.
The Zeets.
Yes.
Is that what they're called now?
The posts on
Is that what
X.
the kids are calling them now?
Nobody knows what to call it. It's so goddamn stupid.
Agreed.
but everyone's pulled away. Flash is left there while they're shooting the thing, you know, or shooting, you know, the Hawk land or whatever. But he jumps down and goes like down a chute, and it goes by the rocket cycle, right?
Mhm.
There
Mhm.
again, this almost looks exactly like how when Luke gets his hand cut off,
Oh,
falls
sure.
down in Cloud
Yeah.
City, lands in a little tube, and then, you know, gets
Gets picked
dropped
up
down
by-
where the Millennium Falcon.
Dave, Dave, can I have you describe these jet ski kind of things? Can I have you describe the design of these things?
Well, you're talking about the rocket cycles.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stand-up jet ski with a little you know thing in the back.
And a gun out the front.
what's on the front?
Oh, I don't know. Did I miss? Oh, it's got a little penis. Yeah.
That thing wasn't little, Dave.
I think that's where they got the idea for the It on South Park, Dave.
Oh, just get one more of those back in the back too. So
I
Yes.
love, speaking of women, I love how there's an actual pillow fight between the two female
Yes.
leads in this movie.
that was amazing. Like just thrown in there.
Why not?
That was awesome.
So then you've got so at this point we're at the final battle, right? So
Yep.
Flash makes up with Voltan, and I will say I love when, you know, when he's like, I'm flying blind on a rocket cycle and flying blind on a rocket cycle, and he,
The
you know,
Sean
he gives-
Connery character right there.
right. I'll take famous titties, and but when he
Le
So-
tits now.
You like that jet ski,
Tits
don't
now.
you, Trebek?
and so when, but I do love, I mean, you
I
know,
had your mother
this
on one of
movie
these
is
jet
so-
skis last night.
What's that?
I'm so sorry.
Repeat that, Brad. Repeat that. I don't
I
think
had
the
your
audience
mother
would-
on one of these jet skis last night.
Very nice.
All right, moving
So,
on.
This movie's really, I mean, I know that this movie is campy and everything. Yeah, this is me watching it sincerely when I'm a kid. I love how Voltan has all these regrets as they're sitting in Arborea, you know, and they're all giving him crap, and he's like, well, I didn't know, you know, and all that. But then when Flash calls and he's like, you know, and he says to him, you know, thanks for giving a little, you know, a dumb old bird a second chance, and like all that. Their interactions the rest of the way, I love, you know, because they have that kind of cool little goodbye as Flash is going to stay on the rocket as it goes into the palace. But they, you know, the plan is to have Flash go out, draw the war rocket, which is called War Rocket Ajax, back. He's going to fly through a cloud where there's, you know, thousands of Hawkmen. And, you know, so then
I
the,
love the flying hawks looked a lot like Birdemic.
Yes, I
It's
made
about
a,
as good of a special
I said-
effect.
Or
I
the
had
flying
no
monkeys
dots.
from Wizard of
That's
Oz.
what I kept
Guys,
thinking
so
Wizard of
that-
Oz. Yes, it looked exactly like the flying monkeys.
What I loved from this scene was Voltan when he'd have his lines of guys and he'd go dive. Just the way and he said it 3 times. It was just the best.
Well, and so this is where too it's so corny. I mean, first of all, the music here again, awesome, guitar heavy, everything. But they're Flash is on his rocket rocket cycle next to Voltan. They're watching it from afar, and all of a sudden, Flash sees one specific hot guy get hit, and he's like, Nero's hit. I'm going in. And it's supposed to be that, he's like the ultimate teammate. I just think it's weird that hot guys have been getting blown up right and left throughout this whole fight. And all of a sudden he swoops in for this one guy.
I just want to clarify David saying hawk guy because it sounds like you're saying hot guys. Which
Well,
maybe that's how you're describing them. I don't know, but I think that you're calling them hawk guys.
Yes. No, yeah. Yep, for sure. And so at this point they're flying back. There's like there's a I can't remember what they call it, but there's like a force field. As they're flying back, they got to take the force field out, which is what all the people that are in the palace end up doing. And and then and Dale's getting married. Flash crashes the wedding and kills Ming. As all that's going on, is there anything there you guys want to call out?
I would call out another comparison to Star Wars because you got to lower the shield, right?
Yes.
From Return of the Jedi.
Endor Moon.
Yep. Yeah. And I also liked how you took the glasses off of one of those dudes that was sitting at the computer, and he's got the wires sticking out of his eyes, and then all of them go down. If one dies, all of them die.
They're
So
like
when you're
Christmas
talking
lights,
about-
Gifford.
Like Christmas lights.
When you're talking about Wizard of Oz, those guys all kind of like going down the way that you're saying.
Mhm.
But then also when Kala gets killed, and she just starts dribbling into the ground. I mean,
Yeah.
she basically
melting.
melts in a pile of black blood.
Yep.
And everything. So that's all pretty cool. I one of the dialogue things that I really liked in here was, so you've got Baron and Zarkov are hanging up in a dungeon,
Yes.
and they're blindfolded, and out of nowhere Baron just goes, "Tell me again about this guy Houdini."
Right.
I like
That was a funny line. I
yeah,
thought
those
that was
are
good.
I mean, and that's where it's kind of like that it's
What
that
was
it's-
the writing on the wall between them? Something with Flash or
It
something?
said
What was-
"Long live Flash."
Long live Flash. That's
Those are all little signs where it's
Yep.
they're trying to be in on the
It's turning.
joke.
Yep.
So, but then so Ming dies. His blood is green.
Oh, I thought it was black, like the woman's. Is it
Well,
green?
It looked like kind of like dark green to me.
Okay.
Maybe but definitely darker, not like regular blood,
Yep.
and not blue. And but then so he gets impaled. There's not much there other than he tries to hold him off one last time with the ring, and then he kind of disappears into the ring.
Mhm.
But I love that when the that little asshole ball comes back out, they're all worried. But then he's like, "Long live Flash," and
Right.
Flash does the
right into the camera.
yeah freeze frame 80s jump. They
So
could
who
have
do-
ended it right
who
And
do
there.
that was it. It just ended there, right?
Yeah.
Who do we
But
think
they
picked
had
up
to
the
do
ring?
I don't love that final scene where it's like, this is what everyone's gonna be now, and then the Hawkmen spell out "Thanks, Flash." All that stuff's kind of corny, but
Yeah.
You're all right, LaRusso.
thanks.
I thought it fit with the movie. I honestly did.
It would have been an awesome ending if it would have ended on yeah.
You know what's not awesome? Ending a movie with "the end?" ? Like a freaking middle school kid would write a story. It's the first thing I tell them every year. Do not end your story with "the end," or is it?
Question mark?
I mean, it's like, come on. This is a major $20 million budget movie, and you end it with that.
It's
There
a real
goes-
Hollywood movie.
Pathetic.
So who do we think picked it up? Who
There
picked
goes
up
how
the
I'm
ring?
going to end the show.
Do you have a theory on that, Dave?
I don't. Other than, I mean, so what
You think
I will say
Arya
is,
picked it up?
Who?
Arya, the daughter? Ara?
No.
No.
I want to
I
know
don't
how they
know.
get back to Earth.
Well, and I think that they were setting it up that they weren't going to.
Right.
There was supposed to be
Well-
a second movie.
Well, they said she was going back to New York.
Yeah,
And-
she's a New York girl.
She said, and this isn't,
did.
yeah, this is not a fast enough life for her or something being
Well,
in.
and this
outer-
Wanting
be-
to go and can go are two different things.
well,
This could
yeah.
be a comparison to Wizard of Oz again, where they're in the role of the wizard and they can't get out of Oz.
She had to click her heels together 3 times
Oh,
to get
yep.
home.
So, all right. Well, so any final thoughts before we go to the list?
I'm
No.
glad I watched it.
I think
I kind of repeat what Brad said. I was never going to watch this movie, and I'm glad that I did. And again, it's so much more fun to talk about it with you guys. Just remembering just the craziness, the bananas of this movie. So yeah, thanks Dave for picking it. It was a good watch.
These sometimes are more fun than the best Oscar-winning pictures that are out there.
Sure.
Better watch, more entertaining.
Pictures.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
I love those moving pictures.
this is a movie I've probably watched. I mean, more times. It's probably in the top 10 of movies I've watched the most frequently, just because it was like a huge childhood staple for me, and it's one I still go back to quite a bit. I don't know if you guys remember, this was on my list of like the 5 things I couldn't wait to show my kids. And I have to say, when I did show it to them, I was like, yeah, I kind of forgot this is so horny. But they liked it. I mean, they liked the movie.
It's
you know,
bright colors, you
Yeah.
know, it's a black and white. There's a good guy, a bad guy, and some camaraderie that comes together with it. I mean, it's a fun kids, you know, with the, you know, take out the horniness, but it's a fun little show.
right.
And the
So-
orgasm.
All right, so for the top 5 list at the end here, so the reason I put out the question I did is, you know, I'm looking at Flash as a character that has only been in one movie, right? There wasn't another one,
Thank
and
God.
so I just think it'd be interesting to talk about who are characters that were only in one movie that you really loved,
Mhm.
right? So they made a
Sure.
big impression, even though they weren't part of like a franchise. So in this, the one thing I will just clarify, just so you guys know, you could have, and I think when I was going back and forth with Brad, I mentioned you could have somebody from a franchise if they've only been in one movie. So Darth Maul, as an example, it could be, you know, you could pick Darth Maul because he's only in Phantom Menace.
Well,
But-
he was at the end of Han Solo.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Gifford. I told him that, and Gifford proved you wrong.
What's that?
There he had an appearance at the end of Han Solo.
Is
Use
does
that
he show up
exact-
in like a hologram?
No, he was actually in the. I thought he
So
was.
it's a prequel, isn't it? It's so
Yeah.
it happens before he gets cut. in half.
It might have been a Yeah, it might have been a hologram at the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
So there's a very
hologram-
good chance that somebody might have a character who's in something else that we didn't realize, and somebody might know this is going to be like a free for all.
And here's
it's
what
going to
I'll
be
say.
great though.
I think it's very unlikely we're going to get sniped a lot by each other. So like that's the thing is if somebody knows something, call it out, and I would assume everyone's got more than enough names.
So I
Holograms
have
count as being in the movie. We've established that rule.
What's
I
that?
have
As we have to establish the rule that holograms count as being in the movie.
Yes.
the character was there.
Yep.
We didn't pick ahead of time. I drew our names while we were doing
Oh,
this.
perfect.
I put Dave
Uh-huh.
first because we always go that way. It's Pete, me, Giff
Yeah.
after that. The
Yeah,
only
it's
question
snake
is, are we
draft, right?
doing a snake draft? Because usually we do that with 4. Or do we not?
We don't need to do a snake draft because there's a low
I agree.
likelihood of sniping.
There's so many.
There's
okay,
so many characters.
Okay,
Dave,
There's
you're
no, just we don't.
All
need
right.
to-
And I mean, again, I know no one's going after this, but I'm just going to take, I got as my number 1, Jack Burton.
God
From
damn
Big
it!
Trouble in Little China.
You sniped me. I am going to go with Henry Hill. That's Ray Liotta in Goodfellas.
Nice.
All right. Interesting first pick, Pete. Wow.
Thank you.
I'm taking Judge Smales.
Nice. I got to cross that off my list. Very
The
good.
glue of Caddyshack. Ted Knight is what makes everything work.
All right. I'm going to take a lad from Greenbow, Alabama.
Yeah, Forrest.
Forrest
Forrest.
Gump, that would be. Dave.
All right, so for my second one, I'm gonna grab Dirk Diggler, Mark Wahlberg from Boogie Nights.
I'm going to have a lot of variety in mine. I
Oh, I thought you were
think
going to
I'm
say a
going
lot
from.
of vagina.
I don't think so. I am going to go with Ned Niederlander.
All right.
Three Amigos.
I was wondering how you might choose between an amigo.
Yep. I had a different.
Hold on. Can
pick.
you? What's the rule? Is the whole movie out, or can you
No.
pick another character?
No, yeah, somebody could pick a
I
different
could
one.
pick Lucky
Yep.
Day.
Okay.
Yep, that was the other name I had written down.
I'm not going to pick Lucky Day now, though. I'm going to pick Inigo Montoya.
Oh,
For
that
The
was the
Princess
first
Bride.
one I
That's-
thought
Uh-huh.
of.
Damn it! I should have
Nice.
grabbed that. That is sniping me.
Ha ha!
I had a
Nice.
top 5 that I figured I could get no problem, and that him and Dirk were the only two I was wondering about.
Inigo Montoya, when I started my list just from memory, was the first name I put down.
Yeah,
I think I just won then.
No, I'm going to win right here. I'm going with The Dude.
all right.
Oh.
The Dude Abides.
And that would be for people that don't know.
Oh, Big Lebowski.
Yes.
Everybody knows The Dude.
Not everybody.
They will now after it's been on
Mhm.
this show.
They will now. All right. I'm going to go another one where I can't imagine anyone's going after this guy. I'm going to take Chris Knight, who is Val Kilmer's character in the movie Real Genius.
You mean Peter Brady?
Yes.
Chris Knight.
Chris
That's
Knight.
Christopher Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I might snipe Brad here with Max Cady from Cape
Ooh,
Fear.
I didn't have him on my list, but
You offering me
It-
something hot.
that actually doesn't work
Why?
because there were two Cape Fears. Robert Mitchum played him first.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
I think you should pick again.
I didn't think it was because
I think we should skip Pete, and he has to go to the end of this round.
You're going to get Derek
No,
out.
I'll let him pick again. I just
Pick again, bud.
All right. Okay. Well, then that actually undoes my next pick too, which is a really no. I don't think it does. Malone from The Untouchables. That's
Nice.
Sean Connery.
Very good.
Your best.
All right. There's so many to pick from. I don't know which direction to go. I'm going to take Del Griffith. Planes,
Oh, I
Trains, and
had that on my
Automobiles.
list.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Nice. All right, Del Griffith. Well, that's what I love about these high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age.
Wooderson? Is that his
Wooderson.
name?
Wooderson. All right, is it back to me?
Yeah.
All right, my number 4, because he grows up and he grows up and he grows up. I'm going with Trent from Swingers.
Nice.
All right. Back to me again. Gentleman by the name of Travis Bickle. Travis Bickle.
Pete, you have a really dark list here.
Yeah,
From
no
Taxi-
shit. This is
That's from
Not what I
Taxi
expected.
Driver, by the way.
Yep.
from you.
I'm thinking of like great characters of all time. Like,
Sure.
that's,
So am I.
Yeah, that's what we're all trying to do here.
well, I know, but it's not.
Wait a
just
minute.
like-
Wait a minute. Am I not supposed to be picking great?
You're nailing it.
Thank you.
All right. Here's a great character. Napoleon Dynamite.
Have some of your tots.
There's been none other like him.
All right.
Get a hit, Crash.
Oh, that was one of my next ones,
Oh,
Giff.
shush,
I actually
shush.
almost picked Crash Davis.
Oh, I didn't hear who you said it first. Okay.
Crash Davis.
Crash
Bull Durham.
Davis. Anything that travels that far should have a damn stewardess in it, don't you think?
One more, Dave.
All right, my last one. All right. I'm going to go with the greatest narrator of all time, Andy Dufresne.
Oh my God, I have him
Nice.
on here too.
Yep.
I'm
I
going
actually
with,
left him off my list, but I thought of that one. Yep.
I'm going with Red. I don't
Oh,
know
not
what
Andy
those
Dufresne. You're
two
going with
Italian
Red.
ladies were singing
Yep.
about.
The
I'm going
narrator.
with Red.
Yep.
Oh, I had Andy Dufresne on mine.
Well, because he's the narrator.
Yeah, I know.
The voice
I
of
just-
God, for
You
crying
said
out
Andy
loud.
Dufresne right away, and I.
Well, my next one, one of the next ones I was considering is I'll go with it. My last pick, Nuke LaLoosh,
Nice.
Bull Durham. He literally was the next one on my list, and then you guys started talking about it. I'm like, shit.
Should call
From
him
the same
Pokey.
movie.
He kind of fucks like he pitches all over the place.
Oh boy. We got so many good ones here. to
There's
pick
so many
from.
great ones. Well, you can save them for your honorable mentions too, because we all gotta.
I
vote
know.
one.
I'm just trying to. I got one left here. Who do I want? Buddy the Elf.
Ah, very
He
good.
was
I had
on
that
my
too.
list too. Not dark enough for me though. That would have averaged out my entire list.
Man, what do I?
That's a good pick because a lot of people, and in fact, they came to Will Ferrell
For a sequel.
to make a sequel, and a lot of people think
Yep.
there should have been one, but I think rightfully he left it alone. He didn't want to do it.
Brad, I gotta tell you, I'm disappointed.
Oh.
I'm going Otto from A Fish Called Wanda.
Nice.
That's a good one too.
That's a
He's
great
all right.
I love that man.
Stay away from him. He's mine.
Nobody picked Hans Gruber.
That I was
That
between
was the
him and
name.
Buddy the Elf for my last pick,
Yep.
and I went with Buddy.
See, I had Judge Smales and I had Al Chervik. on
Well, I
my
have
list.
a few from the same movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got it.
my two for Caddyshack were Ty Webb and Carl Spackler that I
Okay,
have listed.
Carl's a good
Yep.
choice too.
Both of them are great.
Brad, I'm amazed that there's two guys. I'm amazed you didn't
Harris
go.
Telemacher.
Harris Telemacher.
Yeah, he's number 2 on my list, but I felt like I wanted to take more well-known ones here.
Dewey Cox.
He's also
Yes.
a strong
I thought for
consideration.
sure you were taking Dewey Cox.
I
thought
got them both in
Otto.
bold. They both would have been.
All right.
I
I
also
figured
had,
Otto,
uh,
Hans Gruber, and who else did you take there? What was your first pick?
Me?
Smales? Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured those would be your big ones.
I also had Shooter McGavin.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had my first thought from The Princess Bride was Fezzik, Andre the Giant,
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
and then I thought, well, no, Inigo
No,
Montoya.
it's Inigo Montoya.
We've talked about the way back on this show. I had Owen, Sam Rockwell's character,
Yep.
Mhm. That's
Truman
good.
Burbank, which we're going to talk about the Truman Show later this year. I wouldn't know which one to pick: Harry Burns or Sally Albright from Harry Met Sally.
Yeah. I figured,
I
thought
had
Harry would be on
I
your
had
list.
Harry on my list. Yeah.
Here's one none of you would have had: Lisa Fremont from Rear Window, Grace Kelly.
Oh.
She is amazing in that movie.
Hmm.
Daniel Plainview.
Ah, yes. This is my boy and partner, H.W. Plainview.
That
I'm an
was
old
a
guy.
big one there.
Mhm.
I had Dickie Eklund, which was in The Fighter. That was what's his
Yeah.
face? Christian Bale's
Oh,
character.
Christian Bale.
I've brought up the movie Stranger Than Fiction many times. So Will Ferrell again, Harold Crick in that movie. I had the other Amigos down.
How about
Billy
El
Ray
Guapo?
Valentine from Trading Places.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy. John Bender. Nobody picked John Bender.
John Bender's a great pick.
He's on my
Naven
short
Johnson, we talked about last week. Naven.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Dewey Cox, and then one more just for you, Dave. I almost
Connor
picked
for
this
real.
guy. Huh?
Connor for real?
No. Oh, that's a good one.
All right.
No. Patrick R. Healy.
Ah, Patrick R. Healy.
But there's something about Mary.
Yes.
Yes.
I had him on
That's
my
good.
list as well.
All right, I'm done.
I'll go on with mine. I had Truman Burbank from The
I
Truman
said that
Show.
I said
Oh,
that
did
one.
you? Pep Streebek from Dragnet.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
We just did that.
Jules Winfield. That's Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Good one.
Tin Cup.
Yep,
Yeah,
I had that one.
I had Paulie, who was Michael Cera in Juno. I had Dr. Rumack, Leslie Nielsen in Airplane.
That's his name.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dr. Rumack.
That's funny. I don't even know that.
Ferris Bueller.
No, you can't do that
and-
one. There was a TV show.
Oh, well, I didn't do that.
Only one movie, though, according to Dave's.
But
I would have counted it.
We did Flash Gordon. The whole episode is about Flash Gordon. There's a cartoon.
Pete, when you were rebooting your computer and
comic
couldn't
book.
get on, we had this whole conversation. We were questioning Dave, so.
yeah,
Yeah, that's good. He needs to be questioned. Anybody else with a comment?
yeah, I got a few here. I got El Guapo was my pick
Oh,
for
Jesus, El Guapo.
Yes.
for
I didn't even think of him.
Three Amigos.
Oh, you could have the
I-
bartender. You
Or,
could
yeah,
have
the
had,
bartender.
Yep, broccoli. Just for the
Fred
bartender.
Asparagus.
I've mentioned him a million times on this podcast. Everett from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Everything out of his mouth is pure gold. I had Tweeter from Varsity Blues.
Oh, that's a big one for you.
Eric Stratton, Otter from Animal House.
Yep.
Tommy Boy. The lone female on my list, Megan from Bridesmaids, is McCarthy's character.
Yeah.
I absolutely love her in that. Farmer Ted from 16 Candles. Colonel Hans Landa from Inglorious Bastards. That's
Oh,
Christoph Waltz.
nice.
Mickey
That should be on
O'Neill.
my list.
Mickey O'Neill is Brad Pitt's character in Snatch. You can pick up about every fourth word that he says. It's just absolutely awesome. I got McLovin on my list. John Coffey, big fan.
Oh,
of
yeah. Green Mile.
Yep. Green Mile.
I got Quint from Jaws.
Oh, that's a good one.
Henry Gondorf from The Sting. That's Paul Newman's character. And the last one I wrote down was Jeremy Gray. That's Vince Vaughn from The Wedding Crashers.
Yep.
Take it home,
Yeah.
Dave.
All right. Well, I have a ton that you guys already mentioned, but the one that I didn't put on my list that probably would be in my top 5, but I guess maybe I was trying to go for more well-known characters, was Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon. So I'll run through these real fast. No, you guys mentioned the Amigos. So the other one I had was Lucky Day. You got Chris and Gordy from Stand By Me, Andy from Shawshank, Michael Bolton from Office Space.
The Office Space, yes.
Why should I change? He's the one that sucks.
Right. I celebrate his whole catalog. Doughboy, Randall Pink Floyd, Jason Dean from Heathers, Lane Meyer from Better Off Dead, as well as oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name now? Because after I wrote down Lane Meyer, I was thinking of Cusack in Say Anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
What's
know his name.
oh my god.
Sure.
We know who you're talking
It's all
about.
right. We know who you're talking about.
So anyway, then you got Joel Goodson from Risky Business,
Oh.
Johnny from The Room, Sean from Shaun of the Dead, Spotswood from Team America World Police,
Spotswood.
B Rabbit from 8 Mile, Marge Gunderson from Fargo,
Ooh, good one.
Mouth from The Goonies, Happy Gilmore, Rod Kimball from Hot Rod, Andy Samberg's character there, Dewey Finn from School of Rock, Scott Howard from Teen Wolf, Gary and
Nice.
Wyatt from. Although here I'm going to go the female route, not Gary and Wyatt. Lisa from Weird Science.
Wait a minute. So was Teen Wolf? Was it a different person in
Different
Teen Wolf
character,
2?
Jason
It was
Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
Well, I know, but
No,
was
but-
it a different character?
Character.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's a different Howard. He doesn't
Okay.
play Scott Howard.
It's like his
Oh, okay.
cousin or something, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Okay, well that's what I'm asking. I don't
Yep.
remember.
And then Will Hunting. I had Norman Dale, which is
Oh,
Gene
Norman
Hackman's
Dale.
character from
Yeah,
Hoosier.
that's a great one.
Rod Tidwell, Eric Draven from The Crow, and Tyler Durden.
Oh,
That's nice.
Tyler Durden, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh,
See, that's
boy.
what I love about this list is that they're all great and you forget all of them. And I was looking forward to seeing what you guys came up with because
Yeah.
you forgot a ton.
But you made a good point, Gifford. You only had one woman on yours. We have a serious lack of female characters on our
Mhm.
lists here.
Well,
should have been able to
wanted.
think.
I would have had
We do.
Elle Woods, but can't have Elle Woods. I would have had Cher, but there was a TV show
True.
from Clueless. I told you I would have had Phoebe Cates' character from Fast Times, but there was a TV show. So yeah, there's quite a few that I couldn't go with that I really liked that were on multiple formats.
Well, I'll just throw out there as a last parting thing, Brad. Any girl from Beautiful Girls would be on my list.
Quality film. Quality.
Thanks,
Yes.
Dave. Thanks
Yeah.
for the support.
Hey,
Yeah, you got it,
Gifford.
Brad. You got
Yeah.
it, man.
Gifford, do you know who's not a waste of $4.59?
A Preacher Row.
That's right.
It's a bargain at twice the price.
Here they are. The
All right.
end.
The
Or
end.
is it?
Standing on my own two feet, no one's here to comfort me. Sorry for what I have done. Sorry that your song is gone. 7 steps and it will be my last. And start tell me how